Hi, I'm Terry Snyder. I'm here with my husband, Christopher. We bought an old dairy farm about 10 years ago. It was pretty neglected, and we've been working on it since then. We've now reached the point where we can start moving forward with actually making it a viable business. And I grew up south of Tacoma in suburbia, had absolutely no farming experience, didn't know anybody that lived on farms until we found this place and bought it. And we have a pair of draft horses that we're getting trained so that we should hopefully be able to use them and ride them. We've learned a lot in our 10 years, especially about how substantially things grow. Our biggest challenge on our farm by far is stopping stuff from growing. I put in a huge vegetable garden every year, and I donate most of it to the Arlington Food Bank, whatever my family doesn't use. And I'm really looking forward to making that step from the high-stress, high-tech world that I go to every day to actually living and being part of my farm. And my farm's just amazing to me every day, just stepping out of my car and feeling part of that world and part of that contact that most people just never actually see.
Everyone's here. Yeah. Maybe unfortunately it's hard to listen to when I speak a little right away because I'm getting behind.
Hello everyone, I'm Christopher Snyder and I'm with my wife Terry. And we live near Savannah, just south of Stanwood, and we've been there about 10 years. As far as farming experience goes, I'm a city boy, and after I got my first real job, we did move out into the woods, but it was on a smaller property and nowhere close to being agricultural. It was all woods. And 10 years ago, we did move out to a 20-acre piece of property, and I hesitate to call it a farm because I don't consider it a viable enterprise. But we did bring in 5 horses and have fun with that. And the previous owners did have a dairy operation, and they chose to keep their nutrients on the farm. And so you put anything in the ground, it grows. And I watched Terry go from small gardens to bigger gardens to, I use my tractor now, and it's huge, and it grows every year. And I really enjoy being a small part of that because after tilling the soil, I step away from the gardening operation, and then at the end of the year I help her load the truck up and we go to the food bank, and that's a big kick for me. And what skills do I bring to running a small farm? I took the livestock advisors class, and that gave me a very broad but unfortunately shallow knowledge of livestock management. I do know what questions to ask these days or who to go to in the professional area to get help with the animals. I also work for a large airplane company down in Everett as a computing analyst, and for years my job is to try and break things and take them apart. So I'm really good at ripping problems apart, but not so good at putting them together. And I think that's about all I have to say tonight. Come up and say hello. It's nice to be here.
Mi nombre es Gladys Lasprilla.
My name is Gladys Sevilla.
Soy de Bogotá, Colombia.
I'm from Bogotá, Colombia.
Un país lleno de vegetales frescos.
A country full of fresh vegetables all the time.
Me ha sido difícil la comida acá.
It's been really hard for me, the food here.
Pero lo primero que le dije, tengo 8 meses de estar viviendo aquí.
But the one thing I would say, I have 8 months that I've been living here.
Y lo primero que le dije a mi esposo, que es americano, cuando cerré mis ojos, es quiero tener un jardín.
The first thing I said to my husband when I moved here after 8 months is I really want to have a garden.
Me sorprende, considero que sembrar es como meditar.
It surprised me a little bit. I would consider gardening a little bit like meditating.
Y cuando voy donde mi mother-in-law, ayudarla,
And when I go over to my mother-in-law's house to help her,
es como tocar mi niña interna.
it's like getting in touch with my inner child.
Y me parece así como grandioso tocar la tierra y volver a lo simple.
And it just seems awesome to get in touch with, the natural things and in touch with the simple things.
Soy terapeuta gestáltica
I'm a Gestalt therapist,
y estuve trabajando con gente de muchos países,
and I've been working with people from a lot of different countries,
con la gente del campo.
mostly with people from the countryside, rural people.
Y ha sido para mí un regalo.
And for me, it's really been a
estar
gift
con la gente del campo.
to be with rural people and country people.
Y quiero aprender y quiero tener un jardín.
So I
Y
really
gracias,
want to learn
Sarita,
more and have a big garden,
por esta invitación.
and so I thank Sarita for the invitation to come here tonight.
Y a todos, gracias.
And to everyone, thank you for having me.
My name's Elizabeth Haba.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
I'll try. I don't have a very good voice or hearing. My name's Elizabeth Haba. You might recognize me. I've worked at the co-op for 7 years. I was raised on a farm in Virginia, and see, I've lived all over the place, city, country. I've always had some kind of garden, even if it was on my fire escape or on my roof or whatever. I have 10 acres on Camino and more family land that we might incorporate into a whole permaculture system. And we've just kind of gotten the go-ahead, do it. So I'm pretty excited right now. Really glad Sarita let me in the class. I was a little late on that. And I'm really ready to learn from everybody and make contacts. And I want goats and a llama.
You want to go there a lot. Nice. Good to know yourself.
That's all.
I'll stand.
All right.
I'm Keith Rubin. I live on Fidalgo Island also. I'm Debbie Martin's neighbor. She's about a mile down the road. We've got 5 acres and I raise horses there, my wife and I. We've got a couple and we board horses as well. And we do that for profit, so we're already filing Schedule F, which is IRS form for farmers, fishermen. In addition to that, I used to do seasonal work, and in the off-season I do farm work for farmers around Skagit County. I've been here 30 years, and I worked in potatoes and flowers and a number of other ag businesses around. What's the next question? Other experience that might be useful. I've worked in food processing for probably 15 years, and started out just on the production line and worked my way up to plant manager in a seafood processing plants. Mostly in Alaska, but some down here also. And so I've got a lot of background in the quality assurance area and food processing, also water quality and food safety and that kind of stuff. I made some notes. I got to go to my notes. Oh, in addition to that, I worked as a farrier for 8 years, and so I know my way around a horse a little bit. The other thing I want to share about myself is I'm a politician also. I'm just starting my 2nd term as Port Commissioner at Port of Anacortes, and so I've got public service experience as well.
Awesome.
I'm Sonia Whitmire. I've lived in this area for about 9 months. I grew up on Vashon Islands and lived in Arizona for a long time, and this was the most beautiful place I could imagine being and most fruitful. That's kind of why I'm here. As far as farming experience, I don't specifically have any farming experience. I have been gardening pretty much as long as I can remember. My family's always had some sort of a garden, and I try to wherever I end up living. I've been trying to get into seed saving and learning how to, keep the same stock of seeds going season after season. I'm on my 2nd round of heirloom tomatoes, trying to figure out how to save some zucchini seeds and that kind of thing. So as far as skills to offer, I potentially I'm working on it, but I would like to get better at it. I also work as a cook, and I know a lot of other either restaurant owners or people who are involved with the farmers market. So as far as networking in that sense goes, and trying to find local businesses who are looking for produce and that kind of thing, I have some ins. I know some people who probably know more people and that kind of thing. So it's definitely one thing I can offer. Yeah, and I'm here more or less because I think farming is, especially sustainable and organic farming, is a necessary skill I mean, somebody needs to know how to do it to keep it going, and I'm just really happy that this class is offered and I can be here.
Okay, no, no.
Buenas tardes a todos, mi nombre es Francisco López.
Good
yo,
evening, everyone. My name is Francisco Lopez.
yo vivo aquí en Burlington.
I live here in Burlington.
Soy originario de Oaxaca, México.
I'm originally from Oaxaca, Mexico.
Ah, no tengo experiencia en tener una granja.
I don't have any experience having a farm,
Bueno, he trabajado en los campos,
but I've
pero de tener una
worked
granja
in
no
the
tengo la
fields, but I've
experiencia.
never had my own farm.
Vine a ver qué puedo aprender
So I came to see what I can learn.
y también a aprender a cosechar verduras orgánicas que no afecte la salud de las personas.
So I'd also really like to know how to harvest organic vegetables that don't badly affect the health of people.
Creo que es todo. Gracias.
My name's Neil. I live in Bellingham. I grew up in Oregon. I've been gardening for a few years, and I co-managed a small vegetable farm in Central Washington a couple years ago, and really loved my life there, and kind of want to get that going again. So I'm looking for some help in figuring out how to set up a sustainable farm, and finding land to do it on a low budget. I studied science in college, and so I really love diagnosing problems with plants. I really recognized that when I was there. I work with native plants for my job, and so I have some experience with that. And I don't know if there's anything else. My partner will be here with me. We want to start the farm together, but she's unable to come tonight. Her name's Erin. Basically, we have a lot of energy and want to start a farm and trying to figure out a way to do it.
Hi, my name is Sarah Detzer, and I grew up on Fur Island, and after being raised on a small market garden, when I was older, I decided to move away and travel and do other things, and now I find it interesting that I've kind of come back to my roots to some degree. I mean, my family had a very small market garden, but I still feel really fortunate to have that as my roots. And so I've gotten involved with some of the school gardening projects here in the Skagit Valley. Someone mentioned at Lincoln and at Unity Garden at Casa San Jose, and I really believe in those sort of projects. What else? I've worked on some small farms around, or organic farms here, like Mother Flight or Frog Song on Fur Island. And so my family still has a small amount of acres on Fur Island that I keep being told that I'm going to someday inherit, and so I'm just starting to think about what I can do now to actually utilize it. It'd be a shame to see it go to waste. Right now we're leasing it to another farmer who's been raising raspberries on it, and so he's not sure